Greetings, everyone. Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell, and welcome to the latest episode of Mondays in MMORPGs. We are cruising forward. This is episode 47 of this series, and this week we are talking about festivals. More importantly, we're talking about fall festivals. I feel like, if you've ever played any MMORPG that's been around for a long time, they tend to have some series of events that are seasonal in nature. And some of them are based around real world celebrations, and other ones are based on fictitious types of events within the game world itself, using the lore of that world. It might be religious in nature, it might just be a cultural thing. It's different for all these other games. Most games, like I said, that have been out for a while have these, and you usually have something around the holidays, around Christmas time, and October, which is where we're at right now, which is Halloween. Um, Specifically, we're going to be talking about some of the cool Halloween events that show up in MMORPGs. But beyond that, I'd like everybody to think about just the overall nature of festivals and what are their favorites in MMORPGs, whether it's something from the spring, something from the summer, something from the fall, and whether you prefer the seasonal events to the one off events that might just happen once in a while. If this is your first time here and you like what you see throughout the episode, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so that you get updates for all the future content that I put out here on YouTube. We do a lot of different things beyond the Mondays and MMORPG show. I do Monday Musings every morning, which is my personal vlog, every Monday morning at 7 a.m. I also do the Lord of the Rings Online Cooking in Real Life show. We do the Is It Worth It gaming series, book reviews, and a whole lot more. Plus, my brother and I tend to stream on Mondays and Wednesdays, at least during the winter months, which we're in the middle of right now. We just kicked off the Star Wars The Old Republic run for the winter of 2021. So if any of that appeals to you, hang out. And of course, don't forget to follow along on Discord if you want. Links are below. And like the video and give us a comment. And let me know what you think about festivals as we dive in. So, without further ado, looking at festivals in general, I think the fall festival tends to be the one, apart from the holiday one that happens in December. This fall festival tends to be the one that is the most celebrated across MMORPGs in general. And that's because if you look at it, most of the games are going to be celebrating some type of Halloween. So they're going to have costumes in the game and so on and so forth. Um, the reason for this is because Halloween, and it doesn't matter what you call it, universally it's known as Halloween. All Hallows Eve, where I live in Mexico City, in Mexico is Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. Um, but internationally, it is the end of October, that harvest festival, the end of the year type of thing, the transition, period. And this is a celebration that has been going on for thousands of years in thousands of different cultures. I shouldn't be making that up. There's been a lot of cultures around the world over the years, and it has continued in modern day. And I think that when you look at games, this is the one that tends to be the easiest to get into because it typically revolves around, something spooky, something scary, ghosts and werewolves and vampires and zombies and costumes and scarecrows and jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins, the harvested wheat, all that kind of stuff. And without fail, this tends to be the one that most people are familiar with. Christmas is also a big one, and depending on what game you're playing, you might have some variation on Father Christmas. Um, there's usually going to be snowballs that you can pick up and throw at other players, some form of Christmas tree decorations, so on and so forth. But for Halloween, one of my favorite games for festivals, bar none, and not just this time of the year, is Lord of the Rings Online. I feel that Lord of the Rings Online is one of the games that has made the festivals that they do throughout the year like a mainstay. Like that's one of the main reasons people come back on a regular basis is because there's so many festivals. And when you come back to the festivals, you get all these unique rewards. You can earn festival tokens that you can use to buy special gear, special cosmetic items, special mounts, so on and so forth. And that's something that's a big draw for a lot of people. And I know right now, for example, the Fall Festival for 2021, there's lots of different things going on. It's Harvest Math, excuse me. You got the Halloween and Harvest Festival. Um, you know, lots of people have different things they like about it. Um, but looking at this, you've got your dailies that you can participate in, and then you have events that take place throughout the course of the fall festival as well. And there's a ton of stuff going on. There's troves and trickery. There's the trick emote that you can earn. So it's just there's a lot of really cool stuff in um, Lord of the Rings Online. And then quest-wise, I mean, I'm just giving you a list of some of the quests they've got, like apple bobbing at the party tree in Hobbiton. There's a box of geodes in Thorin's Hall where you can loot a box with random geodes, which you can trade in for a barter vendor to get fall tokens. There's pumpkin patch picking at the Bree Festival grounds. Has a scroll chest in Dwiliond or Dweyond. I always forget how to pronounce that. There's the haunted burrow which happens, which is a lot of fun, by the way. If you haven't done the Haunted Burrow before, it's really cool. And just there's just so much going on. There's valuables gone astray. Just riddle in a bottle. This is why I come back to. I feel like Lord of the Rings Online is one of like the games that you look at when you look at a game that's done festivals right, especially when it comes to the Yule Festival, which is Christmas time, and also the Fall Festival, which is going on right now. Now, what's interesting to me is that even though I said many games offer up their own version of some type of festival or festival events, I was surprised to learn that Star Trek Online, which has been out, when did Star Trek Online come out? I'm going to look at this real quick. While I'm doing this, Star Trek Online, excuse me, is doing its first ever Halloween event starting October 13th, which is in a couple of days. And this game first came out in 2010, so it's been out 11 years, and you haven't, and it hasn't ever done any sort of Halloween event, which I find to be mind-boggling when you think about most games. Let's look at this real quick. It says powerful extragalactic beings known as the Old Ones have traveled to the Milky Way galaxy to study the worlds and life forms there. Through the use of a powerful device known as a transmuter, the Old Ones are able to perform amazing feats, including mind control, illusion, and teleportation. This tremendous power was detected by a group of Davidians, and the malevolent creatures moved to seize the transmuter and imprison the Old Ones. Should the Davidians learn the secrets of the powerful device, every living being in the galaxy will be vulnerable to attack. It's up to a squad of brave officers to travel to Castle Pyrrhus and thwart the latest Davidian plot. It says it's time for Star Trek Online's first ever Halloween event. Like the first Contact Day event, this new 3-week event begins with a single activity and will be expanded in the years to come. This time, captains will find themselves transported to an ancient castle on Pyrrhus 7. The classic aliens from the original series episode Cat's Paw, the Old Ones, have returned once again to study humanity, but their plans have been disrupted by the Davidians. Can you navigate the darkness and terror of two of Star Trek's spookiest villains and escape with your lives? Or even your souls? So I think this is really cool. And I'm going to link this below, by the way. Also the Lotro Fall Festival. Um, Looks like you're going to get participation awards you daily progress towards a grand prize, which is a transmuter wand, universal kit module, and the old one vanity pit. And additionally, the first character on your account claims this reward also receives 25,000 dilithium ore and 3 featured episode reward boxes. Excuse me. So there's dailies that you have to complete, it looks like. And once you've completed 14 daily progress updates on your account, you can get the grand prize. The event is still playable after that with some basic rewards for participating. I'm reading what the pet it looks like. That's very interesting. So I just think this is, it's very interesting. Now, what is I think worth noting with Star Trek Online is they even admit that they're starting off very light. It's just one event, a one daily thing that you're going to be able to do. Unlike you look at look at Lord of the Rings Online, and I just listed like 20 things that are going on for the fall festival. There's only one thing going on with Star Trek Online, and that's just the nature of them just getting started. But I am a little curious why it took them, 10 years, a little more than 10 years to actually get to the point where they started implementing um, seasonal features, because most games do them within the first 2 or 3 years after the gate, because it's easy, repeatable content that you could just turn on every year. And some years you can add new cosmetics to the store. Most games do that. Like most of the time, you can earn new things, or they're just the same things that you can only earn during the seasonal events. So it keeps you, like, if you only log in, you only manage to make it for the last 2 or 3 days of an event, but you know it's coming back around next year. You can come back in next year, and the tokens that you got from the first year carry over, and you can finish getting all the tokens that you want and get the rewards that you missed out on the first year that second time you participate. So I think from a mechanics standpoint, in terms of getting people to log into the game, I think it's a very interesting functionality, because you're offering, it's FOMO first and foremost. It is that fear of missing out, factors heavily into doing some sort of seasonal event that's only going to be running for a limited time. But it's also that sort of prestigious, I got something that no one else has factor, where you can earn something that not a lot of people on the server have. Because let's face it, the amount of people that participate in these, hardcore religiously, it's not going to be all players all the time. It's going to be a subset of your subscribers, or a subset of your player base who really love the contests and the storylines and everything else, and they're going to come back repeatedly. And hopefully you can draw other people in over time if you make your events cool enough. Hint, Lord of the Rings Online. I think that, again, are like the pillar of, the top of the pack when it comes to looking at them. So Star Trek Online is doing one this year. We've also got Destiny 2, which is doing vaulting content for year 5, but it's doing a new ghost shell for Festival of the Lost. Warframe is bringing back the Knights of Nabarus Halloween event all through October. I'm going to read that real quick because I haven't played Warframe a lot. So what's this one? Daughter has dressed for her occasion in the most gruesome Nabarus accoutrements and set up a shop full of festive wares in the Necrolisc on Deimos. Stop by for a visit and exchange mother tokens for all new Nabarus treats like the monstrously macabre Nectalis ephemera. Our service was set this year to include customizations as well as blueprints for some delightfully devilish weapons. Okay, the cosmetics for your suit look pretty sweet. The wings and everything. Um, what's the date on this? It just says get into the Never Spirits on all platforms until November 3rd, and this was posted on the 6th of October, so a few days ago. So they've got that going on. Destiny 2, let's put that up. We're going to put all these links in the description below. It says Blade and Soul is back around for another season with an event called Blade and Ghoul. Let's look at what this has. Oh, I gotta enter in my date of birth. Dun, 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 dun. Blade and Ghoul is now live. Forest of Echoes is an available dungeon challenge. 4 new events, a new page added to the compound system, mythical enchantments. So let me look here real quick. You got 3 different achievements you can earn, several different new collections. Oh, a whole bunch of quest rewards for the quest. So the events, Splendor Spell, Wishing Charms and Festival Coins can be obtained through opening the Antique Lamp, Pristine Lamp, and Wishing Lamp. Okay, so that's that one. Splendor Spell, Wishing Charms, Festival Coins, Realm Lift Supply Chain. So these are daily quests, one-time quest, daily quest, dynamic quests. Festival Coin Collector. Divine Secrets, Call to Arms, Soul Arena. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Um, First season takes place from October 6th to November 10th for the Challenge Dungeon Forest of Echoes. So this is, you can kind of see across the board, they're doing very similar types of events in the sense that it's dailies with some weekly events and some seasonal events as well that take place throughout the course of the event. And then it also looks like Fortnite has something called Fortnitemares. It says Fortnitemares 2021 foretells iconic creatures, cubic chaos, and screen time scares. Woo! Things are in the cards all the way till November 1st. Halloween themed maps, games, and experiences made by the community during the Fortnitemares call out. That's interesting. So, has many new and returning Halloween outfits in the store. Legendary monsters making their way to the shop, as well as classic characters with Halloween twists. Each item's shop debut has a card that flips over on this evolving page. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here. It looks like they've got the mummy from Frankenstein, some skeleton stuff. This looks like a cool crossbow skin. A whole bunch of stuff. It's about time for my nap, everybody. So I don't know how many games out there. Let's look at this here. MMORPG festivals, fall festivals. Just a curiosity. I want to see if somebody's got a list, maybe. I don't know that there's a big list. Yeah, I don't really see anything off the top of my head. No list compilations in any case. Yeah. All right. So, big ones being fall slash Halloween and Yuletide slash Christmas festivals. There are also other ones like I think in at least in the U.S. you have some games that will implement the Thanksgiving stuff into the game, but I feel like that's gotten lesser and lesser every year, especially as Thanksgiving has become more of a political hot topic for people, given the nature of the 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 colonizers and what they did to the native population um, and some of those things. So I've seen fewer games celebrating anything specific to Thanksgiving, but I do feel like by the time you get to October in whatever game you're talking about, you're starting to get into fall festivals which will usually run the entirety of October into November. And sometimes you might get a week or two break, but sometimes right away, starting like mid-November, you'll start getting into like the winter festivals that then run until the end of the year for most games. So you've got basically October, November, December for most games are going to be running some type of fall festivals into winter festivals, which I think is really cool. Um, we're 18 minutes in. This is going to be a shorter episode this week because I just wanted to touch on the fall festivals that are launching off. I know I'm currently playing Final Fantasy 14, and I don't even know because I'm so busy with New World recently. 14 Fall Festival. Is there a fall festival in Final Fantasy 14? I remember last year when I first started playing. I feel like, or maybe it wasn't because I don't remember exactly when. When did Valhalla come out? Assassin's Creed. Because I feel like the first festival they did was the Yule Festival. Yeah, because it came out in November. Because I remember playing that, and right away the Yule Festival came out with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I would assume they're going to be doing something for right now. I should check. Festival. Because there's another example. It's not even a It's not even an MMORPG, but it still has. They have something called the Wild Hunt, which begins on October 12th. Okay, it's called the Wild Hunt Festival. Oxoria. Oxoria might be what it's called. Man, I kind of want to reinstall Assassin's Creed Valhalla now just to go get some of the cool one-time cosmetics because Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a really good game. So going beyond MMORPGs, yeah. Sorry, anyway, got sidetracked. Seasonal events for Final Fantasy 14, 2021. Breaking Brick Mountains, which is taking place October 19th to November 11th. So it looks like, it looks like it's less of a like fall festival and more of just a general festival because I don't think anything that looks particularly Halloweenish. Um, okay. Anyway, looking at Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I think I'm gonna go install that this weekend. And get prepped for that. If I have space on my PS5 before, I need to check that. Um, but I did love the Yule Festival, and the quests are a lot of fun. I know there was another one that they did like Easter time. I didn't participate in that one. I was finishing up the game around that time. It was like what March, I think, was right around when I finished the game. It took me about 6 months. But the cool thing is like your village gets turned into whatever is the current festival. You get all the decorations and stuff, and then they've all these one-time um, quests that you can do that are for the event to earn tokens and stuff. And there's drinking games and archery games and so on and so forth. You know, it's just a lot of fun, and I like the fact that they introduced that into a single player game like that with Assassin's Creed Valhalla because traditionally it's mostly always ever been just MMORPGs that do it like that because most of these single player games are not operated as a live service, but they're treating Assassin's Creed Valhalla a little differently because their next iteration is going to be a live service game, and so I think they're kind of getting everybody into that mindset of we're going to constantly be here, constantly adding features to this game. So get ready for the next one that's coming in the pipeline because it's going to be even cooler and going to have more things for you to sink your teeth into. Anyway, that's going to be my wrap up on fall festivals. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What game has your favorite fall festival? Again, I think for me, Lord of the Rings Online takes the cake. I feel that EverQuest 2 has done some really cool stuff over the years. I didn't mention it in today's video, but I know they've always done really cool things with the festivals. EverQuest 1 sometimes did some stuff, but I feel like I never really cared about it back then enough to have paid too much attention. Um, but I know with Lotro in particular, I love it, and it's cool to go in and get some really cool stuff. So I'm going to be working on that this fall, actually, because I still play that game regularly. And even though we're playing Star Wars Old Republic right now, I'm going to be ducking in there once or twice a week to Lotro to earn some fall tokens because I've got a mount that I'm looking at. So in any case, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Again, if this is your first time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you get updates for all the future content. Join us in Discord, links are below. And if you want to pick up a subscription over at Patreon to support what we do here on the channel, you can check that out. It's mostly related to what we're doing with Project Drummond, but if you want to help out in some way, because this is not a big channel that gets advertising, that's a great way to do it, is to pick up a subscription. You can also find links to my books below. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, safe gaming, and I'll see everybody next week with the next episode of Mondays in MMORPGs. Peace!